should automatically tab in for you. The key to programming too is keeping a consistent formatting style. I usually just use the uh, style that Microsoft Visual Studio uses. I don't try to change it up at all. Um, okay, so now let's type in system.console, and you should be getting pop-ups that kind of help um, show you different things that you can be doing, different objects, different functions, different things that you can click on and use. Okay, system.console dot right line. Now you can either, now when you hover over this, the cool thing about Visual C Sharp 2008 is it will give you kind of like a description of what these things do, what they are, how to use them. It's really nice feature. Now you can either write it, or you can either be typing all this out, or using this little I forget what Microsoft calls it, like Code Sense or something like that. It's up to you, whichever one you want. Let's go right line. Do an opening parentheses, Shift 9. Do a beginning double quote. Now, if you'll notice, we have all these errors pop up. Don't worry about those until you finish writing what you're going to be writing, okay? If we left it currently the way it is, then yes, those errors would need to be fixed, but we're not done yet. Okay, so we open up the quote. Now go type in hello space world exclamation point in the quote, in the parentheses, and then do a semicolon. Semicolon basically tells it basically tells the thing that builds your code that you're done with that line. Okay. Not all lines have semicolons, but let's just continue on. Okay. Okay. So now that we have that, let's save it. See this little save little icon right here, or you can go File, Save All, or Save Program.cs, which is the file that we're working with right now. Okay, now let's go. As you saw, nothing really happened again, and you might be wondering why. Well, the problem is right now we're telling it to write something to the console application, the window that'll show up, but we're not telling it to wait for anything. Once it writes that text to the console application, the window, it closes because it thinks that we're done, which technically we are at this point. So, with that in mind, let's do a little a hack somewhat, and let's try to tell it to wait for us. So type in system.console.read key, or you can do read line too. It's up to you. Let's just do read key. Okay. So now we're basically telling it to obtain the next character that you press on the keyboard. Okay. Now let's go here. Let's save it. And let's run it. Okay. Now, as you can tell, we have a window pop up. This is the console application. If you're familiar with MS-DOS, then you will be familiar with this. It's basically just a simple GUI that comes pre-built. You don't have to worry about programming the GUI, which works wonders when you don't really care about the GUI. which we don't at this point. So here we go. Now, the reason why it's sitting there waiting, why that little uh, character is blinking, is because it's waiting for us to press a key, because we told it to. Now, if we didn't tell it to, it would just close down the program like it did before. So let's just put in a key. Let's just do A, and bam, there you go. It read the key, and then it realized that the program was done, and it closed it. So that's pretty much the most common things you need to know about this editor. This is pretty much what you do on a routine. You write code, you fix any errors that you see, you save it, you build it, and you debug it. That is the common routine that programmers do. So, with that in mind, you just compiled and executed your first program. And I will, in the next tutorial, tutorial 3, I will explain what each of these lines of code does, and try to explain the C# language a little better in more detail. So this tutorial was just for an overview of the editor and how to work with it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please rate, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or comment. And please keep checking back the greenparrot.com website for more.